Hello and welcome to the Times of India. You're watching Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna. The world today stands at a defining moment on the technology landscape. A moment where the future of artificial intelligence isn't being shaped solely in Silicon Valley, but increasingly in the vibrant, innovative, and fast growing market that is India. Just months after US President Donald Trump urged American tech companies to pull back on overseas investments and fall in line with his America First mandate, the leading names of Silicon Valley, including Microsoft's Satya Nadella and Intel's Lip Bhutan, have been seen with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi while announcing multi-billion-dollar commitments in artificial intelligence and semiconductor manufacturing. In the past few weeks, some of the world's largest technology companies have made headline-grabbing commitments, historic multi-billion-dollar pledges that are set to transform India's digital ecosystem and rewrite the rules of global AI investment. At the center of this story is Microsoft's groundbreaking announcement, a $17.5 billion investment in India's cloud and AI infrastructure over the next 4 years. This is not just another corporate check. It is Microsoft's largest investment ever in Asia, signaling a strategic shift that places India at the core of its global AI ambitions. This comes on top of an earlier commitment, $3 billion pledged earlier in 2025. That means Microsoft's total planned investment could exceed $20 billion by the end of the decade. So, what will this money do? First, it's powering massive cloud and hyperscale AI infrastructure. A new data center region in Hyderabad, set to go live in middle of 2026, will be one of the largest of its kind, with 3 availability zones roughly the size of 2 Eden Gardens stadiums combined. But infrastructure is only a part of the picture. Microsoft is also doubling down on human capital with a pledge to train 20 million Indians in AI skills by 2030, from students to developers to small business owners, as part of its effort to democratize access to cutting-edge technology. Even more significant is this. Microsoft is building sovereign cloud services, secure and locally compliant systems that allow governments, financial institutions and healthcare sectors to process sensitive data within India's borders. This reflects a growing global emphasis on data sovereignty and India's positioning itself as a leader in this space. The impact of these commitments has been reinforced at the highest levels of government. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella personally met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi earlier this week, and the two emphasized how this investment aligns with India's vision of an AI-first future. And Microsoft's announcement has triggered a domino effect among other global tech players. Within a day, Amazon unveiled plans to invest more than $35 billion in India by 2030, a figure that builds on nearly $40 billion the tech giant has already poured into the Indian market over the past decade and a half. Amazon's commitment is not just about AI and cloud compute. It's about jobs, exports, and inclusive economic growth. The company says it aims to create millions of jobs directly and indirectly, deepen AI-driven digitization across its platforms, and ensure that small businesses, especially sellers on Amazon, gain access to AI tools that boost competitiveness and scale. Then there is Google, which has pledged $15 billion over 5 years to build a massive AI data center in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, with an initial capacity of 1 gigawatt, another critical node in the global data infrastructure landscape. Taken together, these investments, Microsoft's $17.5 billion, Amazon's $35 billion, and Google's $15 billion, represent a collective commitment approaching $70 billion, making India one of the most important battlegrounds for the future of AI outside the United States. This surge of capital also sends a clear geopolitical signal. At a time when some policies, like the America First rhetoric in Washington, have suggested that tech giants should prioritize domestic markets, firms like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google are snubbing that call, instead channeling unprecedented resources into India's digital economy. Another critical discussion was with Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan. He expressed support for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious semiconductor initiative, under which the government has allocated 76,000 crore rupees for domestic chip manufacturing and design. The meeting followed Intel signing off an MOU with the Tata Group to manufacture and package Intel products at Tata's upcoming fabrication plant in Gujarat and at its facility in Assam. This effectively positions Intel as the first major potential customer for India's semiconductor ecosystem. Next on the agenda was Cognizant CEO Ravi Kumar, head of the US-based IT multinational with roots in Chennai. The discussion centered on expanding the company's presence in India, especially across its major development hubs in Chennai and Pune, while also accelerating AI adoption. And in a development that can only be described as ironical, one of Trump's own business ventures announced plans to invest as much as 1 lakh crore rupees in Telangana's future city, as well as other local projects. To top it off, Eric Swider, director of the Trump Media and Technology Group, remarked that India was on an upward trajectory and will lead the world in technology. And that's not all. OpenAI, led by Sam Altman, has just launched its first India office in New Delhi. Meta is also poised to open a new campus in Bengaluru. In April this year, Google inaugurated its massive Bengaluru complex, Ananta, which is amongst its largest facilities worldwide. Apple, too, announced investments worth around $1.5 billion as it shifts more of its manufacturing footprint away from China. Why India? The reasons are compelling. A massive and youthful population, one of the fastest growing internet markets on the planet, and an increasingly rich ecosystem of startups, engineers, and businesses ready to adopt AI at scale. India's digital public infrastructure, including platforms like Aadhaar and UPI, has already laid the groundwork for a data-driven future. These investments accelerate the transition from connectivity to intelligence, from raw digital access to AI-powered inclusion. In practical terms, the benefits of this wave of investment go beyond flashy tech. They promise faster and more affordable AI services, greater opportunities for upskilling across cities and rural areas, and a multiplier effect for innovation. Startups will get access to world-class infrastructure. Traditional industries can leapfrog into the next generation of productivity tools. Millions of students will find new pathways into the global tech workforce. What we are witnessing is more than a financial bet. It's a strategic commitment by global tech companies to help India assume a central role in the AI era. For India, this moment represents not just economic opportunity, but the chance to lead, to harness AI for inclusive growth, to build sovereign digital capabilities, and to empower its citizens with the tools of tomorrow. Historically, foreign investors have preferred to pour capital into AI-focused companies in South Korea and Taiwan. But since the government launched its national AI mission about 18 months ago, adoption rates have surged. Funding has begun flowing into data centers, the physical foundation of AI, and into semiconductor fabrication. And as we said, big tech's decisive shifts towards India have materialized despite Trump's criticism of Silicon Valley's globalist mindset and his attempts to lean on India's tech sector amid a widening tariff and trade conflict. He made his expectations explicit during an AI summit in Washington in July. He said, and I quote, "Winning the AI race will demand a new spirit of patriotism and national loyalty in Silicon Valley. We need US technology companies to be all in for America. We want you to put America first." But American technology companies have chosen not to be pulled into this geopolitical rivalry and instead have opened their wallets for India, especially for AI projects. One thing is clear, AI will shape our future, and it could well be that that future will be built right here in India.